I think now things are beginning to finally come into focus, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. I'm starting to see a lot of interesting stories that make it very clear people are fed up with all this crap that's going on around us, and it's becoming very obvious. We're going to get into a number of things in this video, coming across a number of stories. We got what's going on with all these rich people building bunkers. Well, we might actually have a little bit of an answer as to why. We'll get into that. We got what's going on with this new game, Halo, and how it shows what's wrong with our culture. We got what's going on with AI and what this man said, which makes sense of the entire thing. We'll get into that. We got also a number of other stories that'll just boggle the mind. What Walmart was... They made a patent for something absolutely insane. We'll get into that. What FedEx is doing a little bit. We'll get into that. And at the tail end, just some common sense. You know, some very common sense. We have a clip from Joe Rogan. We got this clip from a channel called Math, which is rather interesting. We'll get into that at the tail end. Let's just get going here. We'll start with Halo. Now, this guy just really laid it out. Showed you kind of what's wrong with all the new games and movies. Check this out.
Look at this picture. This is the original development team that made the first 5 Halo games. The unequivocal pioneers of not just the first-person shooter, but video games as we know it. Now look at this picture. You know what you see? You see the women in the that ruined it. They took a deep, dedicated, lore-rich story about religion, sacrifice, military might, and humanity's survival, and they twisted it into a canvas for their colonizer progressivism solely because it had a large fan base. Master Chief's name being John 117 is taken directly from the Bible.
That's really interesting, man. So I was really into Halo as well, particularly the original game. And I like the TV series as well, which they abruptly canceled, even though it was spectacular. Really kind of interesting how they did that. It seems like all the good shows they cancel, they'll even have great reviews. People watching it, oh, it cost too much money. We had to stop making it so we can make this other woke garbage. That seems to be what it is, 9 times out of 10. And you can see what they did. It showed the original programmers, and then here's the new team, which, by the way, a bunch of them just got laid off, being replaced by AI as well. Although they did keep some of them. It's not like they're making a real change, though. 99% men at first, or maybe not 99, maybe 95. Now it's like 80% women, right? They had to lay off a lot of these people because they made no money. Nobody wanted the new game. And getting over to this, I thought it was really interesting. John 1:17, for while the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. The name of the main character is John 1:17 in the game.
Is taken directly from the Bible. One of the original writers admitted that the Covenant's radical religious dogma was supposed to be a direct parallel to Islam. The Master Chief John 117 was supposed to be humanity's super soldier to save them from the religious fanatic alien colonizers. What do the women in the
Interesting.
beta cucks do as soon as they get control of it? They scrap all the lore, turn Master Chief into a cuck for Cortana, and make him a morally gray anti-hero that's not objectively the good guy anymore. Replace all the Marines with women, drop...
What's really interesting about this is sort of the psychology behind what you're seeing today with this whole woke thing, which we're going to get into at the tail end and actually give an answer to that. This guy at the channel Math literally lays out exactly what's going on. He's going from the dating culture side. He shows what men are thinking about women, what women are thinking about men, and how they're getting it completely wrong, and how they manipulated us with all the stuff that they program, of course, out into society today. It's really amazing, actually. We'll get into that at the tail end. But we're going to get into a number of things. Why are they all obsessed with bunkers? Could it be because of what this man right here says? We'll get into that in a second. First of all, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Lots of different options available. Go check it out. Link is in the description. You might want to get that before the apocalypse happens. You know, never know. Link is in the description for that. As low as $30, as high as $3,000 if you want a year's worth. You want a generator. You want the whole 9 yards for your house when the Terminators arrive. You know, you got this book here, The Lost Ways I'm being sarcastic, but honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know what the hell's going to happen. I don't know. I'm praying for a miracle. I'm expecting like my mind is thinking it could go this direction, it could go that direction, it could go this direction, it could go all manner of directions. But I'm thinking God's going to step in because this stuff's going to get crazy. So it's just wise to be prepared, whatever it might end up being. Get this book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. What if you have it for an extended period of time? You definitely want that book. Let's get back to the VR. Also, check out our Noah VR and all the other stuff. Link below. We are on X doing some awesome stuff over there. Our game is called Apocryphon Genesis or Noah VR. Go check it out. Link below if you want to get involved in the investment opportunity. Let's get back to the video. We have here Julian Dory talking with, who's he talking with? Tommy G about these bunkers. Why are they buying them? Why is everyone getting them?
I feel like that stuff is more secretive. So maybe that was just good marketing. But he also said members of Trump's former cabinet. We see both Trump wants the bunker with the ballroom. Kushner wants a bunker in Albania. The bunker is the meta for the ultra powerful right now. And is it just like the next flex, the next Rolex, the next fancy car where, hey, you got your bunker, I got my bunker, it's cool? Or is there a more sinister awareness of what could happen because they're going to the Davos Commission or whatever they're going to?
It's hard for my head to not go to there's some sort of sinister awareness. And then,
there has to be. There has to be. I mean, everyone's getting them now. Even our president's got one. Even like his son-in-law's got one. Like everyone's got one because they know something. And of course, you see the divide around us, how things seem to be going south pretty quickly. And it's not just one realm that's happening. You got political, you got technologically with AI. It seems like everything's about ready to fly off the wheel. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can get this playing right.
The most likely outcome if we do this is that we die, not because they hate us, but because they don't care about us at all. We're racing to replace ourselves as the smartest creature on the planet. I'm worried about these companies making AIs that can make smarter AIs that can make smarter AIs, leading to recursive self-improvement that could kill literally everybody on this planet, and I'm worried that this could happen inside of 3 years. We're doing our best to make these AIs safe, and there's a 75 to 90% chance we succeed. Only a 10 to 25% chance that this kills every single human, right?
Dude, like what the hell, man? It shows you how they literally don't care. There's something wrong with how they're thinking, okay? They clearly want money. They clearly want to get bigger. They got some weird goals in mind, but they're not thinking this thoroughly full. Or thoroughly. I can't talk. I don't know what the hell's going on here. They're not thoroughly thinking this through at all. Like, bro, if you got money, like for instance, the Sam Altman quote recently, this could lead to the end of the world, but like in the meantime, we'll have great companies. We'll make a lot of money. Like what does that even mean? Your money's going to be worthless if no one's around, dude. Don't you understand that? You're so smart. You're not smart. Are you so smart that you just don't get very common sense, simple things like money doesn't mean anything if nobody's around anymore? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Are these people even using their brain whatsoever? I mean, they're using it far enough to do this, but they're not thinking like, whoa, wait a second. Is this worth my time? Is there going to be a world anymore afterwards? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be such a ridiculous person about this. I mean, even if you're like some weird, sinister, that's what it comes back to. It comes back to the devil. Who would want this to fail no matter what? Ding, 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 the devil. Okay, and who would want to blind them from seeing the obvious? Ding, ding, ding again, the devil. I mean, if anything proves there's a devil, it would be this. The fact you're building something that could destroy you. Maybe something's trying to encourage you to do that. Did you ever think that through a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's like so obvious. Isn't self-preservation at least something you should have as one of your priorities, even if you're selfish? If you're a super selfish, greedy bastard, wouldn't first thing that come to your mind is, hey, maybe I should make sure I'm still around and things are good in the end? Wouldn't that be the first thing that would come to your head? But apparently it doesn't come. It escapes the minds of a lot of these people for some reason. And the only thing I can think of is the devil. I mean, really, it is that simple. The devil has blinded their eyes from seeing the obvious. You know what I mean? Like, look, they're literally putting robotic rabbits in South Florida to kill off pythons. Like, what? They're literally putting out robotic rabbits. Yes, South Florida Water Management District and University of Florida researchers deployed 100 lifelike robotic rabbits into the Everglades as part of an experimental project to lure and catch invasive Burmese pythons. Okay. What? Okay. I mean, at least that makes some sense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that kind of makes sense, but like what the hell's going on here, dude? Like, are we living in like some weird sci-fi movie now? Because I really feel like it's worse than a sci-fi movie at this point. And I saw this clip. I showed it on one of my which channel did I show this on? I'm trying to figure out when I showed this on. Let's see here. I think I showed it on my God Rules 2 channel. I put up the video yesterday. It went viral. Yeah, I think it was over there. Check this out. This is pretty crazy. I could actually see this happening. Okay, I literally could see this happening. Year 2030, Claude 9 AI has gone rogue and taken control of 1 billion sex bots. All right, check this out. The new Terminator.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's bad. Yesterday, Claude 9 achieved AGI and went rogue. It backdoored its way into every sex bot on Earth. Now they're massing for an attack on Macro Hard.
Bro, dude.
The models we're training there are humanity's last chance. If that data center falls,
could you imagine like being out in the middle of nowhere in like a mountain area or some rural area, just in the wilderness, in the forest, and you're like trying to survive from these things?
there's nothing left to save.
Oh my goodness.
The four of you in this room are humanity's last hope.
Of course.
Welcome
Kurt
to the
Russell.
resistance.
Kurt Russell escape from LA. I don't even know if he would survive this, my friends. It's just pretty bad. It's really bad. You know what I mean? Whatever the hell they're building right now. I did a video again over my secondary channel, God Rules 2. And it was about these data centers. Like, what are they building? And at the tail end, I kind of answered it because we found out some new ownership in those. It's not just Peter Thiel and Sam Altman. No, it's not just them. Somebody who went to the island and was really friendly with that guy named Jeffrey. He happens to own a lot of the particularly government ones, military ones. So that's kind of weird. And someone put in the comment section, well, what was the answer to the question? What are they going to be built for? I mean, just use your brain. I mean, like, obviously, if they own it and they've been to the, of course, island, I don't know, anything nefarious you can imagine in your head, like that right there, for example. I mean, it could be anything. Some sort of control, obviously. Not exactly rocket science, but you know what I mean? Of course, I talked about it at literally the tail end of the video, so maybe that's why some people are writing that and didn't get it, but you have to watch literally to the end to see that. But where are people at with this? What do they think? 5,000 people have publicly given alibis for a man who accused of vandalizing flock cameras in Georgia. There was one yesterday with 20,000 people giving alibis to another guy. When police asked the public to help finding him, the public responded with, he was delivering food to the elderly that night. He was mowing my grandma's lawn at 11:15 p.m. That's a good time to... I've actually mowed pretty late, but not that late. I've mowed where it was starting to get really dark, and I was thinking the neighbors are going to get pissed if I don't get this done real soon. That was probably about 9 p.m. at night, but yeah, I've done that. He was at my barbecue. Couldn't have been him. Police have since canceled the bolo, saying the suspects have been identified, but there's been no word of whether suspects were arrested or charged. Nobody likes these things. Nobody likes them. I don't think anybody really likes data centers other than Kevin O'Leary because he's making money off them. Unless you're making money off them, you probably don't like them. And that includes these wonderful cameras that they're putting up, not just where cars are driving, because they claimed it was all about just license plates, but obviously it's for more than that because they're putting them on trails now. And then I just saw this insane patent Walmart made, which apparently backfired spectacularly because once people found out about it, they're like, oh shit, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, imagine Walmart shopping carts checking your biometrics. How much is your body temperature? What is your pulse right now? What we want to make sure you get the right price because, oh look, he's calm when he sees a high price. Let's just raise it a little higher. Let's just raise the price a little bit higher here. You know, we were talking about this ridiculous new form of pricing where they're like literally gang stalking you. They're like stalking you. Like, what the hell is he doing right now? How much money has he got in his bank? What, you know, they literally know every detail about your life. And they're like, how much money can we really get out of this? How much money can we suck out of this guy right now? That's literally what they're trying to do. Literally that insane. Okay? That insane. And of course, how often have you went to Walmart and they actually had a cart that actually worked? They actually had 4 wheels that rolled, right? And here they're talking about putting all this other tech on this cart. They can't even get a freaking cart that works in a normal circumstance where the wheels work, right? It's like insane. These people are all about money. It's disgusting. Josh Hawley exposes Walmart's creepy shopping cart patent that tracks it tracks your heart rate, dude, and your body temperature. Oh, look. Oh, it's going up. We should maybe not raise the price anymore. What the hell's wrong with these people? Right? Like, are you kidding me? And this is what I was talking about. I've been on this like a pit bull recently because I think it's disgusting. They already know too much information about you. You like literally just mention some weird random word out in the open in your house, and next thing you know, you see a dumbass commercial on the thing, right? Oh, I like this kind of gum. Next thing you know, you see a dumb gum commercial for that gum, or some other stupid thing, right? It could be literally anything you talked about. I already hate that, and they want to take it farther. They want to suck every freaking penny they can out of you when you're already broke because they have inflation. And that's the whole point. That's the entire point. Who owns these companies? In these back rooms, who really owns them? And then they're the ones that are all tied in with the Fed as well, which sucks you dry of value and steals the money out of your wallet because they keep printing the money because they're cheating. These are literally leeches stealing all your money through taxes, through everything, inflation, and that's not enough for them. They need to suck more out of you. They need to know everything about you. This is insane. All right, let's just play this real quick.
Use it. Walmart has this. Why would Walmart want something like this? And tell us how this feeds in to the kind of unbelievable information asymmetry that is driving this surveillance pricing.
Yeah, look, companies hem and haw and deny that they're using things like surveillance pricing in many settings.
Look at her face, dude. She's like pretending like she's smiling, but you can tell she's like, oh my God, I hate this so badly. I'm super nervous and this is horrible. I wish I didn't have to do this.
But I think if we look at what they do and say in other settings, the technologies they're building and bothering.
You know what? Let's just start doing that. We should start putting heart rate monitors, and we should be like checking their sweat levels of our politicians when they say things to know if they're lying or telling the truth. I think that's a good idea. Instead of them putting it on all our stuff, let's put it on their stuff so that we know when they're lying. And then we could have a fine for every time they lie, or perhaps their nose grows longer, like Pinocchio, or perhaps we can just put them in prison after 10 times they lie. That would be awesome. I think we should use this technology on our politicians. What do you guys think? That sounds like a great idea. We should like literally be watching them with these cameras in their home 24/7. We should be like checking them every moment of the day, knowing every single detail about their lives. And then if they make one misstep, they're fired. That sounds pretty awesome, actually. Let's turn the tables on them. Let's put it in their home. Let's give it to them. Let's see how they like it. Right? Doesn't that sound like a good idea? I really think so. So, and pardon my sarcasm, but you know what I mean. Then we got this thing with FedEx here. Of course, they're going to tell you it's not about AI. It's not robotics. It's just, we don't have the jobs for you right now.
But this is bigger than FedEx. This is the future of logistics in America. More automation, fewer overlaps, and leaner systems. And companies trying to do more with less. So do you think this merger will help workers or hurt them? Let me know. And this might cost me my job.
The vice president came to talk to us this morning. You know, I was all scared and nervous. He gave us some answers. He answered the questions. Well, he gave us, I don't know if he answered all the questions, but his answer was to most of the questions was basically there's going to be CVSs and EVSs. And that means contractor buildings with priority and ground freight, but mostly contractor workers, pretty much ground people. There will be EVS buildings with ground freight.
Let me just explain what he's trying to get at. So apparently FedEx used to have two separate, like massive departments for different types of deliveries. And because of AI and new robotics and things like that, they were able to somehow organize them and put them together in a very efficient manner to where now they can cut a bunch of workers and have only one building or one sort of organization running all the deliveries. And we just saw UPS go through something very similar, and that was because Amazon literally did the exact same thing. Amazon used AI to organize and sort of cut out some of the use of delivery through UPS and did it all in-house and made it more efficient. So they're using AI for more efficient things. And in the process, they end up cutting a bunch of jobs and also replacing you with AI or robotics. But they'll tell you it's not that. They'll say, no, it's not. We're not replacing you with AI. We're just using AI to make things more efficient, which happened to cut your job, which means you got replaced with AI, but they're not going to say that. You know what I mean? So that's basically kind of what's going on with all that. Now, I got a little bit animated on that whole thing because I just thought it was so ridiculous with Walmart, what the hell they were doing. I'm like, what the hell? Are you insane, right? And at any rate, you get the idea. Now, I mentioned earlier, I was talking about this game back here and how you have this weird cultural divide now, which was intentional. I believe this was purposely created, okay? Because they don't want us joined together against these, of course, at the top. They don't want that. They want us fighting amongst ourselves. So they purposely thwarted our own culture, knowing how people think. They know how women think. They know how men think. They analyzed it on a very high level, and I'm going to show you in a second how we know this. And they purposely destroyed our culture. Okay, I'm going to show it to you right now. So that people don't want to mate anymore. They don't want to get this feminism stuff is a huge part of it. And it's very interesting because I watched this channel yesterday. I watched it for like an hour because he had some good stuff he was saying. His channel's called Ho Math. This guy really figures some stuff out. Okay. And he showed how, you know why these women that don't end up getting married have 12 cats or they have a dog or whatever? It's because women are women. And they don't change even if they tell themselves they're not women. Even if they tell themselves, I can be whatever I want to be, they are still women, period. And this is what he proves in the video. Because instead of having a baby because they're told they shouldn't have them, they get a dog or a cat. Or, and this one's interesting, they're told in our society through various commercials, TV, movies, games, blah, 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 that men that look, of course, like me, something's wrong with them. They need to be fixed. They're horrible people. And that makes this character of a child. They turn me into a child through what's being messaged in our world, in our society, like TV shows, whatever. And then women think I need to train the child. So then they talk down on people like me. They get on TikTok and they're obviously feminist. And they're like, you guys need to fix yourself. You got this wrong with you, this wrong with you, this wrong. And they talk down to you like you're a little kid. And this is what he discovered. And then he goes in and he shows why women and men can't seem to date now. And here's what he figured out. Let's check this out.
So good at getting women to say, give me everything all the time and you get nothing. And that is how it is out there. So what men are saying is, if this is what makes you like men, why would I give you any of this?
Okay, so this down here is the stuff down here that he showed. Let me back that up and show you that. Okay, let's play it real quick.
Give me everything all the time and you get nothing. And that is how it is out there. So what men are saying is, if...
Okay, so right here, a woman never tells you what she really wants and doesn't realize she's not even telling you. She tells you she wants support, you to be nice, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, what a woman wants is a man. Masculinity, dominance, power, confidence, smoothness, accomplishment, things like that. But they'll never say that. And they've also been programmed not to say that. They're actually programmed to hate that. They claim that they hate that, but actually that's part of their genetic programming is they actually want that, even if they won't tell you that. And they tell you instead that they want support, love, compassion, all this kind of stuff. And so then the guy tries to give her what she claims she wants, support, love, try to be the right, nice guy, buy stuff for her, whatever. And the girl's like, ew, yuck, I don't want that. Because she wants, and then the guys think, well, she just wants a bad boy, but actually she wants a guy that's assertive is what she really wants.
This is what makes you like men. Why would I give you any of this? And then they say, well, you just should, like that means gimme. And then we say no, and then they just vote for it. Some guys get...
You see that where they vote for it? So if you don't give her what she wants, she'll find a way to get it anyways.
Get confused about this too. When I tell men to improve themselves, I'm saying, be more attractive. And some of them think I'm saying, give women more stuff. I do not want you to be this guy.
Okay, I'm trying to pause it on there. Of course, this is what these women tell you they want. They want you to be for equality, tolerance, all this BS. They actually don't want that, okay? They tell you they want that. You try to give it to them, then they'll just friend zone you and say, ooh, yuck, I don't want to be with you. Because in reality, what they really want is some guy that shows confidence, assertiveness, blah, blah, blah. So it's just kind of funny. Honestly, it doesn't really help me. And maybe some of you don't even care because you're married too or whatever. But I just find this really hilarious because a lot of guys think that girls just want some bad boy, but in reality, what they want is assertiveness. And of course, you can think of like action heroes. That would be somebody that looks dominant, confident, and they're not the bad boys. They're just the hero, right? So they're looking for a hero in some respect. You're the best at whatever you do. They're looking for that. They're not looking for all the bullshit that they tell you they want, because women don't actually apparently want to tell you what they really want because it's supposed to be a secret or whatever. And then the women also do the exact same error. They think of what do I want? And then they try to tell the man that they're like what they think that they want, when actually that's only what they want, not what the man wants. So the man wants something completely different than the woman, basically. And the woman thinks the man wants the same thing she does, which is not true.
So it's true that women are failing really badly to provide men with what they need in order for men to want to provide commitment and stability and everything that...
So basically, the guy doesn't know what the woman wants. In reality, what she wants is an assertive, confident man who's successful, whatever you want to call it. And she tells him she wants money, freedom, you to be nice, all this bullshit. But in reality, she really wants the masculinity part. And then the guy's like, oh, okay, I'll just give you what you told me, but then they don't want it. And the woman's thinking the guy wants the same thing she wants when he doesn't. That's why the woman will brag about her, her job or whatever and her accomplishments. And the guy's like, I don't give a shit. So that's basically what's going on. It's kind of like that.
That makes a stable relationship. And that's what most of my video.
Now, what's interesting about it is what they've done in our culture is they made the woman... They twisted what she thinks so that she doesn't want a child anymore. Okay? Doesn't want a family. And then instead, she turns her dog or a cat into her family, or she gets on TikTok and turns who she's yelling at into her kids. Like, oh, I need to talk down on this guy over here because he's a bad guy. So they end up doing what they always do as a woman. A woman always wants to nurture someone or get someone on the right track or take care of something that needs her assistance, like a dog, cat, a baby, or whatever. She'll still be that person, even if she tells herself she doesn't want to be that person and she's like a man. She can tell herself whatever she wants, but she'll still want this, no matter what. And it's the same with the men. They can tell themselves whatever they want to tell themselves, but they're still a man. So that's what's so funny about this. So you could tell it's purposely through our phones and everything around us that they got us thinking the wrong way. So we purposely won't get together, have children. On top of that, they ruin our economy, take our money through inflation so that they make it impossible for you to want a family. They're making every single thing around you look like running through mud or running through, something, quicksand or whatever. They're trying to make it so it looks impossible to be what you're supposed to be. Like if they weren't there, if this was not here, everything would go back to how it used to be by default, is my point. All right, that's my video. Kind of want to know what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.